W's and L's, the weekly recap show where we give a dub to the things that we do like and an L to the things that we don't. I will go first. Thank you for reminding me. Let's start off with the dubs. Urban Meyer gets a dub, but I'm going to fucking laugh at him. He is returning to Big Noon Kickoff.
Of course he is.
And Urban Meyer, now with all the stories and things that have come out, just strikes me as a person who probably left with this big bang, fuck all of you, and then had to humble himself and come back to Big Noon Kickoff. I don't know that happened. I just kind of feel like that kind of
They loved him over there at Fox while he was there. I think that this is a placeholder. I think he's trying to see if Ryan Day, if that was just a blip on the Ohio State schedule, and he's just going to continue to dominate the Big Ten the way he has for the last 3 years, or if this is a chink in the armor that gives him an opportunity to come back to Ohio State. I 100,000% believe he is sitting around waiting for that job to open up again. Because they'll hire him. They'll hire him back.
Yeah, no, I do. I know they would do that.
They're going to hire him back.
Would I accept him back as a fan?
I mean, he was a phenomenal college coach. It was him and Saban. So
yeah, I don't hate Urban Meyer, but that Jacksonville run was comedy.
That just means that he can't coach men, young men, boys.
Yeah,
he's great because all of that no nonsense, hard on you stuff. Number one, usually doesn't get out of the locker room, and number two, it goes by a lot easier with younger, unproven guys who are looking to get taught by an Urban Meyer type. They're
so insecure in their abilities because they haven't proven them yet that they'd be okay with not questioning a guy like Urban Meyer, like what you just said.
But in the NFL, even the kicker that you kicked had more NFL experience than you. So it's like it's kind of hard for you to be ranting and raving, and we haven't even won a game this season.
Like, Urban, you my dog, but I'm going to laugh at you any chance I get. Like, you kind of deserve that for the whole Jacksonville fiasco.
Well, I think he's waiting around to see if Ryan's gonna get it together, and if he don't.
But I also trust Ryan can get it done. So
okay,
just saying. Keenan and Kel get a dub because apparently they're working on Good Burger 2.
Don't you ruin this shit for me.
That's the hard part, but I have
Good
enough
Burger
trust.
is a cult classic, and it's a closeted stoner movie. It is a closet stoner movie because if you watch How High or Cheech and Chong, or you watched any of those stoner type of movies on Netflix, you 100% got recommended Good Burger to watch at some point. It's a closet stoner movie, even though it's a Nickelodeon children's movie.
The movies that you just named all have duos.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie about food.
Yeah.
It's a comedy
with
stupid
characters.
Comedy.
Yeah.
With dumbed down comedy that anybody would understand, especially when they're high.
Mm-hmm.
It's about food, and it has a duo that you can get behind.
I feel like there's a lot of potential here for this movie because the first movie was successful without having to do a whole lot. Keenan crashes into his teacher's car, has to work all summer to pay it off before his parents find out, gets a part-time job with an eccentric buddy that he ends up breaking his heart in the midst of the movie, but then gets him back, and they both get to be the hero at the end. The end. Not a lot was done with the first movie. Don't do a lot with the second.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly, I don't need to see if Keenan got a family or Kale got a family. I don't need you to run me back through their life over the last 20 years since the first movie came out. I don't need that. Get as much as the original cast as you possibly can back together. Tell a good story. The end.
2 people won't be in it.
Who's that?
Abe Vigoda, the old man.
He's passed, right?
Yes.
Okay, R.I.P.
Dan Schneider.
Why would Dan Schneider not be in this movie?
Because Dan Schneider is a fucking creep and he's dealing with the whole Jeanette McCurdy situation from iCarly.
Wait. Dan Schneider, the
big fat white guy who was the manager of the Good Burger.
What'd he do to her?
Have you not heard about all the shit that's going on with?
I know she wrote it. You talking about the blonde haired chick that from iCarly, right? I know she wrote a book.
Yeah.
He was in it.
Okay, are you not aware of any of the allegations against Dan Schneider?
I guess not. He's never been a big enough person for me. Well, he's large, but not big enough, not big enough for me to remember anything about him. What else has he been in besides Good Burger?
The allegations have come out like fairly recently.
Is he like a
oh, he's like
Disney
behind,
employee, like behind
the
camera guy?
He's like behind.
Okay,
he's like a major producer behind.
That makes more sense because now
good or well, obviously Good Burger,
Kenan and Kel, maybe
Kenan and Kel, iCarly, and
that makes
Victoria
sense.
Justice show. What is that called? I don't know.
Victorious.
Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Yeah, all those shows. And I think even the Jamie Lynn Spears show.
Zoe 101.
Yeah, I think all those shows.
I loved Teen Nick growing up.
Yeah. No, I did too. I just can't think of the shows for whatever reason. Anyway.
So that makes sense because I'm sitting here trying to connect. How does a show that happened in like 2007, 2008 end up being...
was like a big part of Nickelodeon, especially at that time.
Got it.
And so, yeah, he's got tons of allegations of him being super duper fucking creepy, including him having a foot fetish, including him inappropriately touching some of the people. And
so is he still employed and they're just not involving him in this project?
I think because maybe they're just allegations, he might still be employed. Don't quote me though. I don't know. But
it's already been confirmed that he's not going to be in the movie.
No, but I would think they would try to stay far away from him.
You would think a young man running around the country stealing booze and women wouldn't be part of a major motion picture at the moment, especially since he has criminal charges filed against him. But hey, country we live in.
It's WB.
Okay.
They run a weird ship over there, so I don't know. L's. I'm going to go ahead and give an L to military recruiters because it had just come out that Dodge is no longer doing Chargers or Challengers. And that's, I mean, from what I know, the main thing that military people spend their money on.
You know, I like to try to present myself as a very balanced person, you know, someone who has nuanced thought and takes time to work through their thoughts, and I try to put forth the best attributes of me and things of that nature. But every now and then, the fuck boy right down here behind my heart sneaks out. And in this case, it's poking out for my love of the Challenger. The Challenger is my dream car. Yes, I am basic as hell. But, man, it was always my dream to get, like, a brand new ass Charger. So now I just have to get, you know, a used one with low miles and going about that. It probably helped.
Yeah.
Probably helped with getting one, but damn if I didn't want to come Hellcat one day and just...
Well, at the same time, they recently rolled out a concept car of the Hellcat that, like, when you rev it up, it sounds like a Hellcat. It's almost like they got a fucking sound bar in the engine.
So wait, like the Hellcat staying, but the Challenger base model was not?
It was a specific... It wasn't a Challenger. It was a different type of Hellcat, but it was a Hellcat. Like, they named it something else.
The Barracuda or something like that? Or
something like that. I can't remember what it was called specifically, but it was an
a
electric...
bulkier... Oh, an electric one. I don't know. Hell
If you can.
Yeah, it was an electric Hellcat. Let's see what it was called. Oh, yeah, they called it the Dodge... I guess I saw a Dodge Daytona, but it says Dodge Charger Daytona electric vehicle. SRT.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, you got another year, so you better hurry up with basics so y'all can get y'all's checks going in the damn
facts.
cars.
Fucking facts. I'm going to give an L to Drake and Khaled because, boy, did their song show up and fucking leave. Nobody gives a shit about that song.
I think I heard it on the radio a couple times.
It just goes and proves that Drake typically gives Khaled the worst shit that he's working on.
You know who brought me a different, or not a different perspective, but said something that I've never heard about Drake, but it's completely true, and I knew it immediately? FD Signifier.
His name is FD Signifier.
I'm FD Signifier.
Is it?
Whatever he said.
FD Signifier. He said it super fucking quick in one of the videos. I didn't know what the hell he was trying to say. But how often do you hear Drake talking about black shit? And when I say black shit, I don't mean strippers and single moms and sending these black women back to the projects that he always talks about doing and y'all don't ever care. Anyways, I mean, like black issues, us getting shot by police, or economic issues, or our education system, or lack of resources, or housing discrimination, or anything.
That's fair.
I don't.
How
He
often
doesn't.
Have you heard Quavo do the same thing?
No. Hold on. Because I think there's something specific to Drake because he is a black Canadian.
Yeah.
And as much as there may be similarities there may be some shared experience. There is nothing like growing up black in America other than growing up black in America.
Yep.
It's not worse or better. I'm not trying to do struggle Olympics here. Somebody's going to get an L, on my go for that very same thing. I'm just saying it's different. It's nuanced. Mm-hmm. So I don't think his perspective is the same on a lot of that stuff. Mm-hmm. Which is just interesting because he's been able to avoid it. Like, no one's asked him. No one's demanded it of him. Like, that's something that can't be said about anybody else that y'all would consider in your top 5. And you know what? Maybe not on his solo album, mm-hmm. but I can definitely go through some Migos and hear some real shit about a black experience in America.
There's definitely something out there.
By way of their journey and their experiences, they are much closer to the black American than that of Drake in terms of content.
Yeah.
Much closer.
Or like Future when he said on March Madness, he was talking about cops shooting niggas on March Madness.
Cops shooting is tragic.
Yeah, like random as fuck for that song. I just thought it was hilarious.
But I mean, it is a distinction.
Yes.
Yeah, I never,
at least he gave us that.
Yeah, I never put those together, but that is absolutely
definitely
true.
A fact. I'm gonna give a toss up to Manti Te'o because a documentary has come out about his situation, and while yes, he probably should not have let himself fall for a catfish, who later became transgender, by the way. I do, at least at some point, feel for the fact that his career is getting catfished at this point. His entire career is that story now.
And at some point, he's not in the NFL anymore, is he?
Last I saw, he played for the Saints.
Oh, so he's still in the league.
I don't know how long ago that was because I don't watch the NFL. Yeah, okay. But I would think he would probably get picked up by somebody. He's still 31. So it's not like he's too old. If you
free agent status at 31, that's probably the start of the skid right there.
Well, no, I mean, but if somebody needs a linebacker, maybe they might pick him up, maybe. But
we'll see. Yeah,
but yeah, his entire career is now being catfished.
The fake girlfriend. Yeah.
So sure. I do at some level
but
feel
he benefited from it while he was in college. It was kind of like that story helped bolster his profile. I won't say it got him drafted, but it certainly put him on a different platform, that whole saga. It wasn't until he was about to be drafted that all of that stuff started coming out and it started playing with his status, but it was helping for a while.
They definitely put all that on full blast in the documentary. It's decent. It's a two-parter, so there's 2 episodes that are both about maybe 45 minutes to an hour long.
I just feel like I've seen it a couple times already. Like we found out obviously what actually happened, and then there was an ESPN. Was it like 30 for 30? I think it was on it.
Possibly, yeah.
How many times you gonna tell the story, man? Yeah, if you
want
people to forget about it, then stop talking about it.
No, right now you get the transgender side of it.
Yeah, but I mean that happened years later. So and as far as I know, he hasn't been in, unless he's still been communicating with this person. It shouldn't be relevant.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I thought it was pretty good because I didn't also see said ESPN doc on it or anything like that. So I don't know, and it's trending, so figured I'd check it out. My last toss up goes to Tevin Campbell, who apparently is gay.
Can we talk?
Which, to much of the black community, didn't come as a huge shocker.
I don't know if I'm shocked. It's just like, damn, it's been a long time, dog. Like,
I don't think anybody was.
Is that Tevin Campbell or is that Ralph Transfan?
Did you just sing "Can We Talk"?
Yeah,
that was Tevin Campbell.
That was Tevin Campbell. Okay.
Yeah. In fact, the biggest things that he's done is "Can We Talk," and he was the what's his name on a Goofy movie.
Yeah, he was Skyline.
Yeah, yeah.
We listen to each other's lines, the final letter to fall apart. If me and the love tend to realize, for the moment I'm seeing it eye to eye. Seeing it Power Line. That was his name, not Skyline. That's Chili.
Power Line. Yeah, you're right.
Power Line.
That's Chili. That's crazy.
Seeing it eye to eye.
Literally just saw a guy on Twitter dancing.
We listen to each other's lines, the final letter to fall apart. If me and the love tend to realize, for the moment I'm seeing it eye to eye. Seeing it to that song?
In the fucking suit to that song.
I'm about to be Power Line for Halloween.
You can do it.
We listen to each other's lines.
He literally
did the dance, the fishing pole shit.
I don't know if I can't remember if he did the fishing pole part of it, but he fucked it up. It was kind of.
If you haven't realized, Goofy Movie is one of my favorite Disney movies for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah, I would probably agree, but I don't remember the words specifically of the song. Like I knew you were singing the song, but I can't remember the words.
Shit,
it's been so long since I've seen that movie. Now maybe I should go watch it. It's probably on Disney Plus, I would assume.
Absolutely. So stand out,
really, nigga,
above the crowd, even if I gotta shout out loud. The body we only want to see, I'm gonna stand out. Oh.
I'm glad you're having a very touching Disney moment because we're about to start shitting on Disney. My L that I saved for the last thing that I want to talk about is because Disney decided it a great thing to bestow an honor on Chadwick Boseman posthumously because they're giving him a Disney Legends Award given to people who have made extraordinary strides to furthering Disney's legacy. So can somebody explain to me why either A, since we're giving this award to people who may have passed, why William Hurt isn't getting an award? Or if it's not because of that, can we explain why the Avengers aren't getting one? Or
well, that's the weirder one to me because there are other people receiving this award. It's not just for Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
And there are people that are still alive on it. So, okay, fine. And then also, it's the Marvel Legends Award is something that's usually handed out at D23, and they haven't had that in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's why they haven't given it to him while he was still alive, apparently. But
I will be even more fair about this and say that we have been calling for Marvel to do something other than make money off of Chadwick to say that they're going to honor him. And this is literally, and I mean through any presser, trailer, anything, this is the first thing that is literally honorable, at least aesthetically. Mm-hmm. Here's my issue. Here's the but. Is that it comes off, to me at least, it doesn't have to be everybody's opinion, but it comes off to me as disingenuous for a couple reasons. Number one, you are doing this right in the middle of the ramp up for the movie. Mm-hmm. Like, whether you mean it or not, you're retroactively continuing to use Boseman's image to promote the movie, which is a problem for me. Number two, he's getting a Marvel Legends Award, and he was one of the least paid leads in all of Disney.
Disney Legends Award.
Disney Legends Award. Okay, fine. He's getting a Disney Legends Award, and he was severely underpaid. Mm-hmm. Perpetually underpaid. You just told me that the most iconic black superhero portrayal that you've ever seen was only worth a fraction of which you paid the white ones. That doesn't go away because you give him a posthumous award. Another question, who's accepting it for him? Is his wife invited to accept the award? Mother, father, siblings? Are we going to involve the family at all in this honoring that we're doing of Chadwick Boseman? Are you even going to entertain their presence in the least bit? Now, they very well could have reached out and the family might have declined, and, you know, neither here nor there. It's just the perpetual usage of his image and then set around it being honorable when the only thing that I see is a bunch of coworkers and Marvel bosses dictating what is honorable for this man. There's no one connected to Chadwick Boseman co-signing this. So it feels weird and it feels odd that they're taking the liberties that they are, because you've completely ignored the surviving part of Chadwick Boseman, which would be his blood family, not the cast and crew.
Mm-hmm.
You have feelings for the cast and crew, fine. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get you off of that. Are they more than what you feel for his family?
Plus, he's done other movies. What about the cast and crews of those movies?
Are we... Because Disney thinks that they have a unique hold on Chadwick Boseman's legacy. They feel like they are the arbiters of what he is remembered for. And that's what I've gotten from this entire campaign. It's an erasure of any other work that he's done playing the black greatness, excellence that we have, and to solidify his death within Marvel lore. It's not okay.
At all.
It's not okay. We'll see what ends up happening with the award. My guess is that if the family was asked, then they probably declined. I don't know how his wife would feel. Mm-hmm. But the siblings, mother and father, my guess is that if they were even approached or asked about the award, they probably declined. If they have his wife there, that's certainly something that could be there, because we haven't heard her speak on any of this.
And she really shouldn't have to.
I don't think she should have to, but I do think that, again, if you're sitting up here talking about honoring somebody in their death, how do you do that without their surviving family members? Mm-hmm. How do you even feel comfortable moving forward so matter-of-factly without the expressed permission of his family? What makes you know better than his blood? What makes you feel comfortable standing out screaming honor about this man, and you're in opposition of his family? That would be a hell of a place for a company like Marvel to be in for any other community. It is a PR nightmare that they wouldn't even want to entertain for any other community. And I can say that with complete confidence. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't even delve into these waters. It's too muddy. There's too much emotion wrapped up into it. Mm-hmm. Because the first time you're seen coming out outwardly against the family, then you've turned the tide against you. So they've done us one better. They just haven't talked about him or mentioned him at all. And that's honorable for Chadwick. To not even have the surviving members of his family promoted more than the cast and crew that he worked with.
It's on you.
Cool. All right, let's start with the dubs, because today I actually have more than one.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, right. All right, so first one, this one's a little quicker. Let's give a dub out to Alabama, Houston, UT Martin transfer, Yabi Enoma, 5-star prospect from 2018, 2019. Originally committed to Alabama over Michigan to start his college career. Ran into some trouble at Alabama. Transfers to Houston. More trouble there. Ends up going to UT Martin, getting his stuff together, and he grad transfers to Michigan. I'm giving him a dub for two reasons. One, obviously, because he's being added to the stable there as another pass rusher, but being able, after going through all of the turmoil that he's gone through, and I'm sure that's sculpted a narrative around him and a perspective about his experiences that a lot of people don't even try to delve through. But to be able to transfer from a junior college into Michigan, to me, shows that he still took academics seriously. You know, we've heard things about missing practices and things of that nature, and I'm sure if he's gotten back to Power 5 football, a lot of that has been cleaned up. But he never fell off on his academics, because I think even if you ask Olu Watimi or Cam Good, one of the two other transfers that we got this year, it ain't easy just to transfer into Michigan. It's not. It's an elite academic university, and that's why they don't raid the transfer portal just like a lot of other places. It's more like a Stanford or a Northwestern in terms of admissions than that of an Ohio State or Penn State or Michigan State, right? So They're very selective. They don't take a lot of guys. And I think if you would have asked some people before this happened, would it have been likely for him to land at Michigan? They probably would have said no, based off of background and whether or not he'd be able to get in. So I commend him on both things, you know, kind of righting the ship, getting back to the Power 5, but also showing that he was able to correct the academic side of it as well. So
sounds like he's African.
Yes,
Okay.
I mean I believe so. I'm assuming because of the name, so I have no idea.
So then I'll give you props for that, for turning that around, because you are of African descent.
Fam, we got a lot. We got a lot of those.
Yeah, you do, and it's not new for
We
Michigan.
had David Ajabo, Josh Uche, Kwity Paye. On their way, we got Collins Edgepong. We're going to have to figure out how to say his name. Like Anchingpong. There you go. Oh, look at you. Michigan recruits.
I poly with Ghanaians, Nigerians, and all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm international over here. You feel me?
Etta, another commit for next year's class. So, yeah, Michigan has been doing a lot internationally. And you know what I think that comes back to? Remember when Michigan was doing those satellite camps?
Yeah.
Like all over the country, and then they went to Rome and all that other stuff. Mm-hmm. I 100% believe that he threw out a lot of fillers. David Ajabo was in Germany, I think it was. Uche was local. Kwity Paye was international. David Ajabo, obviously. Anchpong, Eno Etta, both, international players. So, yeah, man, they're not afraid to get out of the footprint to go recruit guys. I like it. On to my next dub. It's going out to FD Signifier again.
What's his name?
Defeat Signifier. I legit don't know how
it's got to be FD.
It's got to be FD, right? It's F.D. But I heard that man say Defeat Signifier.
No, I heard it too. So I didn't know what that was.
All right. So first off, I'm a fan of the content.
Same.
Some slight disagreements with some of the premises that are put out there, but I think he does an excellent job of providing a lot of evidence to the things that he says, and he really works through them. He don't care about trying to get a video under 30 minutes.
No,
he doesn't give a damn.
Usually an hour, and then there's always like a part 2.
He don't give a damn. He like, you gonna watch or you not?
But he gives you not only scientific research, but then even anecdotal and research based off of interviewing people who might be of what he's speaking to.
Absolutely, man. And so I stumbled upon a video he did about a year ago about the short story, the Disney short story of John Henry. All right? And just listen to how he breaks down this film and see if anything is familiar to you. So the story of John Henry, it's an old folktale. Most people know about it. Working for the railroad company shows up and says they're terminating the contract of all of the workers, right? You're fired, get out of here. Funny thing that I never even picked up. Obviously, we didn't get this in the folktale story, but in the cartoon, the workers revolt against the company. They're getting ready to tip over the train, and John Henry stops them.
Nope, didn't know that at all.
John Henry stops them from tipping over the train and gives them a stern finger wag. No. Right? But that's not even where it's bad, right? So, John Henry picks up both his hammers and starts nailing them in, going faster than any machinery can go, right? And he ultimately ends up dying, creating the pathway for the train so that everyone else can prosper and get paid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the kind of gist of the story. Well, in the short story, they give John Henry a wife and they give him a son. Hey man, I'm not about to argue about the liberties that are being taken with John Henry lore. You know what I mean? It's not propagated enough to show a clear, concise storytelling. So if they gave him a wife and a son, they gave him a wife and a son. And that's not even inherently bad. I haven't even got to the bad part yet. How Signifier sets it up is that the message that is being sent is that the Black patriarch, and he does do a good job of separating what he means by patriarch and kind of separating that from patriarchy and the overlapping system. The Black patriarch, the leader, right, the most virtuous of Black men, ends up giving his life so that the whole can better off leaving behind his wife and bastard child?
Mm.
Now that sounds damn familiar to me. That sounds damn familiar to me. And all along the way, he's talking about the internalized messages that he got as a child watching this from this movie. I think it came out in like 2000, right? So I'm sure I remember seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really hit me like that because I was 7 years old in 2000. But obviously, you know, being a little bit older, being in a preteen age or even as a teenager, knowing more than what I knew as a young child, then yeah. Because what is the message that's being sent there? Work your back to the bone. Work until you die, and that's when we'll honor you.
And leave your wife and kid nothing.
Right. We will cheer as you leave behind a husbandless wife and a fatherless child. And that's virtuous because you did it for everyone else. And there's value in that for black men. Nuts, ain't it? It's crazy. Sounds like some old-timey tropey shit that should never show up in 2022, let alone a major Marvel film, right? Right? John Henry 2.0? I actually left a comment, a long comment too, and I was like, hey, look, man, this video is over a year old, so I'm sure you're not going to look at the email notification about this comment. But if you do, please tell me what you think about the direction of Black Panther and some of the leaks that people are talking about might happening. Mainly the likening of the death back to Chadwick Boseman's real death and the Jon Snow baby. I just thought that was really, really crazy how he broke down that movie, a short story from 20 years ago, and it mirrors pretty much what the message is being sent in Black Panther 2. Because I will argue that the Wakanda on screen, the MCU Wakanda, has only really celebrated T'Challa in death. He hasn't been king long enough for them to celebrate any of his other feats. What other feats were there? And then now he's probably going to have an illness that takes him off the board permanently and leave behind a son. And not even a wife. Not a wife.
A baby mama.
A baby mama. Not as if in the course of them having this hidden child, it wouldn't have been a good idea to unify our lines and make this official, even if we're going to continue to keep the child safe.
As a king.
Nope. You're right. Right. Exactly. A king of the most advanced nation in all of the world. A black king got a baby mama.
Where royal bloodline matters the most. He didn't think to solidify that at all.
Anyways, I just thought it was very interesting. And as you can probably guess about, black content being made back in 2000, this was made by two white guys. How, with an all-black cast and crew, black director and writer, black executive producer, did we get a mirror image of two white guys trying to tell a story of a virtuous black man? How did that even happen? I really hope he responds to my comment, or I'm able to engage with him at some point, because I would love to get his takes on some of this. Because even within that video, right, he starts out with saying, talking about Lee Daniels. Don't like him. Don't like his content. I feel like it's antiquated. I feel like it's stereotypical. I'm not really with it. Don't fuck with it, right? But then he talks about Oscar Grant and Ryan Coogler, and he gives a lot of deference to Ryan. Now, I will say he critiqued Ryan a little bit more in this video than I've seen him do in other videos. So I will give credit where credit is due. But there was just a little bit more deference and allowance for Ryan Coogler than what was allowed for Lee Daniels. Fair point. Lee Daniels has made a lot more content than Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler doesn't have the filmography that Lee Daniels does. So the repetitiveness of the tropes hasn't gotten time to really sink in yet. Mm-hmm. I hope it doesn't, for Ryan's sake. All right, so that's my dubs. L's. First L's going out to the She-Hulk discourse that I seen going on Twitter. All of y'all should be ashamed of yourself. All of y'all. Everybody involved should be embarrassed. The guys who was trying to play Struggle Olympics with goddamn Marvel characters, y'all should be fucking embarrassed. And then the women that were trying to act like catcalling equates to being hunted or shot and killed if they have the opportunity. Now, I'm not trying to say either one of them is worse or better or what have you. Let's just say it's different. Let's just say it's different and leave it at that. Because who wins when we're doing that fucking nonsense? When we out here playing Struggle Olympics vicariously through Marvel characters. There are men around the world that kill women because they deny their advances. Yes. Yes. I also realize we're comparing that to a comic book character that was abused as a child and hunted for most of his life because of his ability. It's like it is literally a cartoonish synopsis, so it's meant to be over the top. So you trying to input real life circumstances up against fiction is like it's meant to pale in comparison. They drummed it up specifically for it to be extraordinary. Yeah, man, I was just disappointed in everybody involved. And then if you watch the show, clearly Jen's like snapping back at Bruce about his trauma and all that other stuff. Like she's saying she doesn't need it. She's saying she knows better. She's saying, oh, I'm not you, Bruce. Do y'all realize that she's losing her shit every time she does that? And that's kind of the whole point of what Bruce is trying to show her until he inevitably says, you know what, go ahead, do it your way, call me if you need me. What happens the minute she enters back into a courtroom? Not that she misused her powers or she slipped up or anything like that, but it came up exactly the way that Bruce said it would. She's not being made to be right about the things that she's saying and you're defending. It's meant to show that she's dismissing it now and will probably be proven wrong later in the series. She will grow and mature and evolve and become a much more nuanced person.
I got a question.
What's up?
You watching She-Hulk, bro?
I did watch the first episode, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I had to see what was going on, man. There was a whole war going on Twitter.
Just making sure.
Ezra Miller made an apology.
Gross. What is he, Will Smith?
Yeah, he apologized for everything, and everybody loves him again.
I don't.
But
I see your point.
They refused to cover this while it was happening. Most of the news that we got from Ezra Miller wasn't from major media outlets. There was a lot of internet stuff going around.
Yep.
We've gone from grooming allegations to breaking and entering and robbery to actual charges being filed for that. More grooming allegations. And only thing he has to do is come out and say, is I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Brother, I'm sorry don't get you out of that court date.
Nope.
I'm sorry doesn't make that warrant disappear. Ezra Miller has been on the run from the law. Right? This is not just allegations. He has been charged with a crime and he has been on the run. How did this turn into, I'm sorry for everyone that I hurt. See it when the Flash premieres. What? Hey, look, man, this is why I am very critical of people that lean on their mental health or lack thereof to explain bad behaviors. Mm-hmm. Because number one, it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse for Kanye West. I'm damn sure ain't gonna accept it from Ezra Miller. I'm not trying to hear that. Fam, you've been accused of taking young girls and grooming them as your wives, girlfriends, whatever. You broke into somebody's house. There's a warrant out for your arrest. How did the police not even show up to where you was giving this statement at and arrest you right there on the spot? The privilege, man. The privilege. And it kills me that there are still people who feel like they need to pay deference to that type of shit. I'm glad they're getting help. Why? I tell you what, I'm going to go rob a bank today and tell you I have a problem. Don't care at all how much money I stole or how many people I fucked over by stealing the money. Only care for my mental well-being. Let me see if that works for me.
Hell, R. Kelly apologized.
See if that works for me.
Where were the whole time?
That don't help him. That don't get him free. You still got to do the time, bruh.
It for me, and this isn't the biggest thing I took away. The biggest thing I took away is that there is no amount of controversy that a white guy can't get out of if a company's willing to back him. Like, over the last couple of years, I've seen murder across state lines, like going 2 states over to murder somebody and getting off. I've seen violations of the emoluments clause, literally using the Oval Office to make money. I've seen a white guy in the aftermath of 2 prominent black entertainers in this country, more prominent than Ezra Miller could ever dream to be brought to task for their sexual improprieties and jailed. And yet, I see Ezra Miller able to promote a public apology, apologizing for the people that he hurt, not the women that he groomed, not the people that he stole from, but just a lambasted, sorry for everyone I hurt. And he's immediately able to change the coverage to sympathy and understanding. I thought when you break the law, it don't matter why you broke it.
He went on a rampage tour, the 2 grooming allegations. He's a fucking cult leader. He's done a lot more in 2022 than the baby did, for example.
Yeah.
And the baby got way worse punishment. I can keep going with black entertainers.
Doesn't really matter about the orientation stuff, the they, them. That doesn't, you know why? Because he's still a white guy.
Dave Chappelle tried to tell you.
It doesn't matter. He literally tried to say that. It doesn't matter. They're bulletproof. And they'll insert themselves into any movement that they need to be to escape culpability. Mentally unwell, different sexual orientations. Not to say, let's calm down on some of that, because I have no idea whether or not that's real or not. Right? I don't know. I don't know Ezra Miller. But I will say that type of privilege extends through any other filter. And they're proving it now.
Kanye West does shit, and he's got his mental health issues, right?
And who's giving him a break?
They do way worse than him.
Who's giving
Kanye
a break? Kanye ain't never broke the law.
No, ever.
Never kidnapped nobody. Never picked up no 14-year-olds and took them across the country with him.
He's arguably.
I forgot about that
wrong.
too. Yeah, transporting minors across state lines.
Yeah, he's arguably never done anything wrong.
Illegal?
At least in the eyes of the law. Yeah.
Said a whole bunch of shit that people don't like.
And got way worse publicly than Ezra Miller has so far.
Yeah, man. I hope y'all enjoy y'all Flash movie, man. I hope y'all really,
What
knock it out of the park.
What happens when it's a dud?
No, it's not that, because that makes it easier for them to leave him. What happens when it's successful? What happens when the entire WB fandom comes out and makes it $1 billion film? You gonna rehire him for the sequel? Because if that wasn't an option, if they were just gonna get rid of him, they cut their losses and do it now.
Yeah. No, that's a fact.
Seems like they're biding their time to see how this all shakes out, to see if they can salvage it.
No black person would ever get that.
No demographic that's not white male would ever get that. I don't even think a white woman would get away with this shit. I don't think they would allow a white woman to
because they're not doing the same with Amber Heard.
Kidnap young boys.
Oh well, yeah. No, I don't know how many white women are doing things to that extent, but
I don't think that they would allow it.
Yeah,
I think the only demographic that gets away with that is they. Speaking about sexual impropriety, did you know that that 70s show guy, not Foreman, the guy with the glasses, curly hair?
Yes, I did know
that he's on trial for rape. Yep. Fam, mind blown. Had no idea.
Yeah, his whole thing happened during the Me Too movement.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Danny Masterson.
Danny Masterson. Yes, sir.
Don't know why that name popped in my head, but that's his name.
That's my last L. I had no idea.
Yep.
He actually went in there and tried to delay the trial even more. I'm like, okay, so if that happened during Me Too, now that makes it even worse. Shit.
Yep. Yeah, bro's wildin'. But he ain't the only one out here. Mystical got caught for rape again.
Danger.
This is like his third time.
Oh, he's a menace.
A straight menace. Straight menace.
Damn. That's unfortunate.
Any other dubs, L's, thoughts on the week?
Oh, tag FD Signifier. We talked about him a lot. But other than that, give us your thoughts. Give us your dubs and L's in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back next Wednesday at 10 a.m. for a brand new episode.
And make sure you check out our previous dubs and L's. Kind of check out what we've been talking about in previous weeks. And like you said, make sure you subscribe because we like to do dubs and L's every Wednesday at 10 o'clock.